Yes, people. What is happening? Welcome to the Straightjacket podcast 183. This video, people, is sponsored by Football Prizes. If you want to be within a chance of winning this Man United bundle, the famous trio Cantona, Keane, and Giggs, all you got to do is buy yourself a ticket, people. Get yourself in the raffle, and the competition ends in 2 hours, people. So if you want to win the competition, it ends in 2 hours. Ticket costs £4.95. And like I said, if you want to go in that draw, link is in the description below. So make sure, people, you get involved in that one. Today is the last day. Nuruddin, how are you, mate? How are you? Everything all good?
Melanin, mate. Top up, galore.
Melanin. It's raining in Manchester. You know what, man? We're living life in Manchester.
It's raining sunshine.
Yeah, it is. It is, man. Honestly,
it's not raining. So... He's wrong, people. Don't listen. It's not raining. It's beautiful. It's sunny. Raining.
You know what? To be fair, on Saturday, on the warmest day, I was a bit disappointed, man, because it was warm and then it started going cloudy about 6 o'clock. But I guess we have to take what we can get. But listen, people, big up to everybody who's watching. Please, guys, smash a like on the video, and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Nuruddin. We'll be on Nuruddin's channel straight after this, people. Big up to Alien Tenno, man. You know what I'm doing lately, Nuruddin? These spamming accounts here have been making me like block certain people. And Alien Tenno has been a long serving on this channel. I blocked him by accident, man. So big up to Alien Tenno. He goes, Saeed and had me in exile. I'm back now. Don't worry, man. You're a new transfer. Don't worry. You know what I mean? You're the new transfer. Alien Tenno's a new transfer, Man United.
It's the only signing anybody associated with Man United has made this season so far.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly.
Big up Tenno.
Yeah, man. Big up Tenno, man. You know what, Nuruddin?
Listen. I just want to give people updates. So we're going to be talking about on my channel later at 6:35 the fallout, the fans' reactions to the interview. But here, like Saeed says in it, let's talk more action, in it.
Yeah, let's talk more action, man, because
people want to get on action by Jackson. You know, people, you know what I'm talking about, mate. Action by Jackson, mate.
Absolutely, man. You know, when you talked about Comedy FC and Netflix FC, you know what? Man United are that, man. I'm telling you, Nuruddin, you should be the director of this this comedy drama.
Listen, I promise you, if I was director, it will go differently. It would not be, because the jokes are running out, bro. They're running out. I don't know what other term to come up with anyway, but it's funny. But first of all, I just want to big up. We might not see eye to eye on everything related to Man United, but I want to big up the people who did direct action. Direct action doesn't mean violence. We don't condone any violence on Saeed TV or United Real Therapy. We don't want anybody to come on harm's way. But big up to the fans, it's from 1958, who are going there and doorstepping. That's what it's called, direct action doorstepping. And the people that did that, we like we said, we don't agree on everything, but the same goal is we want the Glazers out. So it is what it is, isn't
it? Did that to show you the actual kind of situation? Man United is very, very, I would say, it's I wouldn't say toxic, but it's edgy. The fans is edgy more than ever now. And I feel like the fans have just had enough because not many actions been taken. And right now, it's a lot of talking going on. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. We're about to do this. With the money's there. You know, there's all a bit of, you know, like I said on the actual video, there's a lot of talking going on, but there isn't much action. He said about 1 billion being spent on the training ground and whatnot. But from your point of view, is that just where the fan base is at now, that people are actually coming to people's doorsteps now and demanding action?
I mean, this is nothing new. When you take the hot seat at a Manchester United CEO and the decade of failure at this football club and owners that don't give two damn, I don't think everybody knows the owners don't give a damn. I think everybody's aware of that. I think everybody realizes that the owners don't give a damn. So when that's happening, I don't think, me personally, the players, those fans who went to that meeting the other day, he had the meeting in the pub with Richard Arnold, I don't think their biggest concern is about what we're spending this season. I think it's a larger goal as, listen, we want the Glazers out because and we want you out as well. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it is for me. For me, I always tell people inside, because people think that United fans are doing this madness because they want transfers. it's not it, man. The end goal is Glazers. Our biggest long-term vision and goal is to get the Glazers out. Now, in the meantime, if the club can be run correctly, then those people need to be reminded the club cannot be run the way it was run for the past 10 years. But what shocks me and surprises me is that, I mean, we'll go into detail more on my channel, but the reaction from that, the fallout from that, where people are making it out like he was allowed to get away with in that. From what he said, he was allowed to get away, and I didn't hear it on the audio and the video that he wasn't being challenged, like he was some passive kind of fly on the wall, like he was like a poster on the wall. He's been part of the integral part of Manchester United board for the past.
This is what I mean. This is what I'm trying to get. Yeah. So, a lot of people are getting blindsided by that. I know this is a very, very young fan base.
He's the managing director, and he's on the board. And the board have always took decisions together in it as a board. They would vote. They would vote.
Came in together.
But listen, it might be convenient for some people to always scapegoat. Obviously, at the end of it, he was the guy who was in charge. We, as human beings, we don't know him. I don't know Richard Arnold. I don't know what's in his heart. I don't know what's in his mind. But the idea that he was trying to make it out like, look, yo, that's what they do. Let's say somebody comes into the Tory government now, Saeed, The next
I know.
The Tory government is going to say, well, it was all Boris. You know what I mean? Listen, at the end of the day,
it's true.
Yeah. Like if me and you went and do something to work together, I'm about to turn around and go, well, it was all Saeed. Nah. Listen, at the end of the day, you're my brethren, and what it is.
It's shifting the blame, innit? It's shifting the blame. And you know what?
That's what these people do. They do double speak, and they always shift the blame in it. But for me, it was just
like a PR stunt. Is that a political thing?
Nah, Saeed, of course it is.
People are trained.
Saeed and Man United now, they're looking at, because it's divided the fan base, innit? So they're looking at, like I said, on my channel, we'll cover it more in the detail. I just wanted to go into this, is that the fan base generally is being divided, and they love that PR. Some people are gobbling it up. How can you visit his house? Listen, nobody about hurting his kids. Nobody about being violent with him. There's 5-0 outside. There's 2 police vans outside, mate. Like, you know what I mean? So the most we could have done to him is swing at him. That's the most one-time swing, and they would have been locked up. That person would have been gone to jail for GBH. So at the end of the day, for me, like you said, like the title of the show says, more, you know what I mean? More action,
less talk, more action.
Yeah. But it is, listen, to me, like I said, it's still, the transfer has been open maybe a week and a bit. And Saeed, like I said to you, I'm patient in it, because I want the manager to get it right. And if the manager's saying, right, so the manager's doing 2 things, because people will say, oh, well, the manager's put new plans in, but the manager then's getting frustrated about.
I want to touch on that. You make a good point. I think that's where my majority of the podcast is going to lie, because I want to know what the meetings were and how that has now constructed into the fact that Man United all of a sudden taken a very, very meticulous way. I want to really, really discuss that. Big up to John Stewart, says, big up Nuruddin, love your knowledgeable spaces. And Ibrahim as well, he says, big up Saeed and watching since 5K, man. Big up to you, man. Make sure you subscribe to both channels, people. Nearly 400 of you watching already, people. Make sure you like the video. It's very, very imperative you guys like the video. Big up to Static in the chat. But, you know, they had a meeting, Nuruddin. Ten Hag and John had very, very interesting meetings. Do you reckon they were thinking, oh, have I just gone there? Have I come back?
No, you're back now, yeah.
Nuruddin, can you hear me?
Neil Ashton's about, better watch out.
So, Neil Ashton's about, better watch out, man. My thing is, Nuruddin, you know that meeting where they had at the start of the season? That was what, was it end of May? Was it end of May, Nuruddin? End of May time.
Yeah, he was announcing in April. He came to Man United in May. But they went to meet him at John Murta. Listen, John Murta went to meet him at Amsterdam as well. There was a meeting in Amsterdam,
Amsterdam, okay. So right now, the strategy for you, Nuruddin, when you actually look at it, is it to kind of make sure we get one player and secure that first? Or is it to kind of go, right, we can get this one here, but we can also work simultaneously and work on this deal? What do you think the kind of meeting kind of was about? Because obviously we've been doing things badly in the past, and obviously Richard Arnold alluded to that fact where he said, you know, I don't want to be doing transfers, do I? And that's why a football director does it. So in your opinion, how do you reckon they kind of analyze that meeting, bro? Because I'm up in the air, like, what sort of meeting was it? Like, how did it come about? You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So No. To me, apparently, this is according to reports, innit? Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, exactly.
Big up Alien Tedo, innit? And sexual.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got a new word, man. You got a new word.
Yeah.
It's easy how the fan base flips in it and feels sorry for him and says, "Oh, we're speaking to the fans." Well, he's better do that for the last 10 years.
You know what? If only certain people could see the bonuses as a guy that was getting, yeah. We moan about players getting paid too much. If only people could see the type of bonuses like at board level, like senior management are on.
Of
It's
course.
different levels, bro. It's different levels, listen, all I say is different level of cookie jar, innit? Different level of cookie jar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The cookie jar is different, innit? It's different. The types of cookies they can sneak off that. So with all the bonuses. So big up Elliot Tedo, innit? You know, Elliot Tedo is quick, mate.
Quick, man.
You know what, Elliot Tedo? I'm gonna steal that. You know, I'm gonna call out the Arnold sexuals in it with my tweets in it.
Funny.
So basically, I think according to reports in it, he basically looked at the list that Man United was scouting the players and he said, "No, I want these players." And apparently, there's this supposed budget, even though Arnold, if you want to believe the Arnold sexuals, you know what I mean, the whatever the manager and the manager wants and the sporting director, the money is available, right? He didn't want to be pushed into anything. He said the money is available. So to me, I think all of a sudden, De Jong became the number one target in it. And that's what we kept saying in it. All the thing was coming out was that De Jong's the number one target. So me, what I always say is that when you've got a target like that and you're trying to box clever, because what people want us to believe now is that Man United are going back to being a football club, Saeed. So going back to a football club. But for me, I'm like, if we're going to do it's like 6, 7 steps in it. If we're going to do step 1, we're going to have to be able to do step 2, 3, and 4. We can't just do step 1 and 2 and stop there. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, of course, of course.
If we want to be like, so people are saying now that the news out there that the guy that you mentioned, the journalist that's based in Manchester, saying John Merton now is letting it be known that United, nobody can take the mick out of United. The United tax is over, basically. United tax is done, is over. We're not here. So at the end of the day, let them negotiate. I said when I was on the space with you, in the stream with you the other day. By the way, you're gonna call that, and I'm gonna jump on if I can to many of them. You're gonna call that show is gonna be now. We're gonna give it a name.
Yeah.
Friday evening, social debate club, mate, or social debate, social club debate. Friday evening social club debate, mate. That's what.
Yeah. Okay.
Those mans made me laugh, right? Love all of them, but it was good. It was good, innit? It was good.
It was a good show. It's a good show.
Yeah. It's good to see the difference, the difference in people. Yeah.
Although people are not liking Danny, man, so I've got to.
No.
They say to me, have a word with him.
But listen to me, no. But Danny's there always, innit, to give another perspective, innit? It's not about liking Danny. It's that he's got a different perspective and an interesting one at that. That's all that is, right? My agenda is clear, innit? My agenda is clear. Your agenda is just your audience, innit, that who are super frustrated. That's what you do. You are representing your audience, the Saeed TV viewers, into what the frustration is. So
of course. That's all. I just want to know, last week I talked about plan, and now there's a lot of talking going on. There's a lot of presumption that Man United are doing things correctly now, which I now at this point now, I'd say I'm a little bit more patient. I don't know where it's come from, but last week I was getting a bit animated. Now it's almost as if people have told me, right, we're doing this correctly now. So I'm now waiting for it to happen, basically. When someone says to you, right, I'm gonna get this done now, but give me a couple of weeks, give me some time. Right now, I'm giving Man United time now, but I'm also kind of understanding of what style of play are we trying to approach it to. What's the kind of like vision in terms of player profile? Because we're getting linked with every single player at the minute. And right now, we don't know what clear plan there is. If there's a philosophy of Ten Hag wants to play, so imagine Ten Hag wants to keep the ball and he wants to play, he doesn't want to play counter-attacking football anymore. And that's what some journalists have said. I'll try and get the quote up here. But Man United is trying to get that counter-attacking style of play away from Man United. So that's why he's looking to bring in Eriksen. That's why he's looking to bring in and De Jong. He wants us to be a team that keeps the ball well. And for me, I am so up for that, man. That's one thing, Nuruddin, is that it's clear Man United need midfielders, because I'm sorry, man. I've been seeing Man United get bossed about in that midfield. I don't know. What's your grudge, Norton? When you watch Man United right now, yeah, what do you look towards the most? Like I look at midfield, where we're just
100%. I
absolutely
think everybody,
destroyed.
I think majority of the fan base, whether you go to the stadium or whether you're in Timbuktu, whether you watch it from, yeah, like I've got the hat on in it. The glasses are there. I just need a cigar in it to toast Man United first signing. Yeah, that's all we need, people. We need that cigar. You know what I always say in it? No cigar, mate. We just need that. Man United this season, we want to have that cigar. And usually, like, good night, Vienna. No cigar.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. This is what this is what the guy said. This guy's a journalist for MEN. I think it's the MEN. I think this guy James Robson or ESPN. I'm not quite sure.
I think he might be. Yeah, I think he's the Even News.
He used to work for the MEN, but you know what I mean. Yeah. And by the way, that Samuel Lucas people, I might have to block him now. You know, I think I'm gonna block him and just. I don't think I'm gonna associate with this guy because he's full on got an agenda for Paul Pogba and any player that I don't know where you see the latest tweet he said about Paul Pogba. He's still rattled about Paul Pogba. But I'm gonna read you this one, Nuruddin. De Jong and Eriksen seen as a pair by Ten Hag because he wants to overhaul United's style of play, wants better manipulators of the ball and players who can get possession in tight areas. That you would assume is the end of the career of Donny van der Beek. Sorry, not Donny van der Beek, Scott McTominay, and possibly Fred, because Fred in certain spaces gets pressed a lot. So that can only be encouraging, Nuruddin, that way. We're starting to see that at least now he's trying to emulate a new style of play, and these are players according to that.
Yeah. So basically, the point I wanted to make in it, we got to wait and see what happens. You know, like I said, chairman, CEO, there is a plan. It looks like there is a plan, but it's about the execution, isn't it, Saeed? You can all have all of a plan, and I think this goes back to your title, innit? But for me, I always said, if you get your targets and then you get Eriksen on a free, it's a bonus, innit? Like for me, you know, Saeed, what do I always say, innit? I've got PTSD, man, from Simmer frame, innit? Too many old players coming.
Everybody.
Yeah. like so many elderly players just come into Old Trafford to go and hang their boots up in it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about that, but obviously, one thing about Eriksen that he understands in it. He understands a lot of people as well who don't like Bruno in it, and I like, yo, wait till Bruno. So the Bruno detractors are all like, yeah, Eriksen, get him in right now, lads. Get him in now. Get him in now, because they think it's gonna be the end of Bruno. We're not gonna know. There are so many unknowns, Saeed. I don't want to go and quote Rumsfeld. Those of you who know. There's the unknown, what we know, and then the unknown.
yeah, of course.
Those of you who don't know, go and check out Rumsfeld, innit? Yeah? Those of you who know, right? But what we know is that Erik Ten Hag, Saeed, what did I say to you? Why was I telling you I want Erik Ten Hag? Because I was going to tell you within 3 months, we're going to see better football, right?
Look at this comment here. You've just justified what you just said. He said, sounds like a lot like Guardiola and his obsession with midfielders. Ten Hag wants to be more proactive as opposed to counter-attacking styles of Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think Mourinho was pragmatic. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was counter-attacking. I think he's got that one wrong.
No. Mourinho did a lot of counter-attacking as well, Saeed. Low block. Mourinho was the original.
His was low block, though. His was just low block.
Yeah,
he was controlled low block. You know when you say controlled low block? That was Mourinho.
Saeed, it was crimes against Manchester United heritage, mate.
Yeah, I know it was.
It was. For me, the worst football I've seen was Mourinho's. You know why? It's the only times I ever walked out. Like, I could see on the Van Gaal players being improved, players being in positioning. We just didn't have the firepower of the pitch to put the chances away. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, of course.
In terms of constructing the play, we constructed the play. Like I said, me personally, Saeed, all this what he's doing, every Man United fan deep down knows, right? We know we've not been coached. We know we've not been supported. We know, right? We know that this all it was to get out there. The biggest thing, if I've got one question to ever ask, big up Ornstein, Ornstein's in here.
Big up David Ornstein, man. Is that you, man? Big up to you, man. We love your work, but he said it's exclusive. He goes, Angela White to Man United confirmed 5-year deal. The world-class Masseur was formerly with PSG. Known for her, yeah. Listen,
what?
man, let's keep
You
it
know, you
PG.
know
These
what?
man are trying to
Listen,
cancel me, man. They're
no,
trying to
no,
cancel me, Loaded, man.
listen, you know what, Saeed? You know what? It's a beautiful
Yeah.
day for melon in Manchester. All I'm saying there. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
man.
day.
You get
It's
me.
the right
The
weather.
right melon you
Anyway,
drink.
you know what? Let's always say that we love our melons in Manchester, innit?
Yeah.
When the sun comes out, innit? Melons out, bro. That's how it is. Melons out, sun's out.
Yo, it's
So, big up,
crazy,
listen,
man. This is
listen, big up, right? Honestly,
yeah.
if I can, if it's gonna be open. Those of you who know the Kwaji brothers in Charlton, their watermelons are deadly, absolute deadly, right?
Yeah.
That's the watermelons, the Kwaji brothers, yeah. Those who know. If you're from Manchester, you know the Kwaji brothers, yeah. That
Yeah.
shop there, those
Where the
two
base is that in Cholton? Is that in
in
Cholton?
Charlton, yeah. It's
Yeah,
opposite
yeah, yeah.
Tesco. It's basically one of the shops opposite. No, Tesco. So it's opposite. Yeah, the Tesco. The Tesco.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Tesco petrol station in Charlton. Yeah,
Yeah. Of course,
opposite
yeah, of
them.
course.
Yeah. It's next to the Barbican. The Kwaji brothers always provide you the finest melons, yo. So Onstein, thank you, but no thank you. We reject your melons, but the Masseur, yeah, all day, man. We need it. We need somebody's gonna help players, right?
Mm,
Somebody's gonna help players overcome injuries all day. I'm gonna help. Our injury and rehab department needs to be improved with more
yeah.
expertise.
Well,
We need
Andy
more.
O'Boyle's going to be that person, isn't it? Andy O'Boyle, hopefully. We need more than that anyway, but we need definitely in that kind of area. My question to you, Lauren, though, is Eriksen and and what's it called, De Jong, the right start we needed? It's almost as if when you're watching Fergie, who was that player that kind of revolutionized the way Fergie played even more? Like, was there two particular players that you thought, like, was it Cantona? Was it I don't know, in the
In terms
midfield
of
area?
midfield, if you're looking at midfield,
Was it
obviously
Paul?
when I was going, Paul Ince, Roy
Yeah,
Keane came in. It was Paul Ince, Brian Robson coming towards the end of his career. This
yeah,
when I was like really young in it, really young as a kid, yeah. When I'm
yeah,
trying to understand football. This is my early understandings of football, yeah. And then we
yeah.
signed Roy Keane and that midfield side. Oh my god! And
Mm.
both of them, you know what? It was both of them are number 8. Both of them.
Yeah,
Ince was a brilliant driver of the ball. Roy Keane could punch the ball in. Roy Keane would drive, but also punch the ball in. But Ince was just an all-round action man, innit? It was like an
yeah,
all-round midfield player. So they will chase, they will help and protect the defense all day. So we play with a pivot on number 2. If you want to talk about what quintessential Fergie's time era midfielders wasn't a holding guy. We never had one holding guy. We had 2 number 8s. It was
yeah.
Ince and Robson. Robson got old. Roy Keane replaced him.
Mm.
Then we had Scholes and Keane. But then Scholes, late when he got older, he became like the quarterback, controlling the
Yeah,
tempo
yeah.
game.
Back control.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then when we came against teams in Europe, we knew that we were getting outnumbered in there. So we had 3. We had Michael Carrick and then Hargreaves came in. So
Yeah,
these were the best midfields in Man United history. Do you understand? And it shows you we won a Champions League and league. When we had our best midfield side, we always either won the Champions League and the league. We will always do the double. We don't do single.
yeah. Of course.
We do double.
Yeah, 100%.
So at the end of the day, I don't care how it is. All I want is that a player of the attribute who's got energy to play alongside whoever it is, Eriksen, De Jong, or whoever it is, right? Anybody who's got somebody who's got energy, somebody who can smell danger, smell it. You know, like a wind. Like sometimes people go, "Oh, I can smell it's about to rain." Some people can smell it in it. They can smell like it's gonna rain. They can feel it in their bones. I want one player. I don't care if you're a number 8, if you're in a double pivot, or if you're a CDM. I don't care what you are. I just want you to have these attributes. One player to complement those 2 players, Eriksen and De Jong, is a player that reads the game. Is a player that is press resistant like them. Is a player that has got more defensive attributes, so that can chase people, that can smell danger, can feel it in his bones where he needs to help. But he's also going to have to be press resistant. He's going to have to be a brilliant scanner, scanning the pitch. Where
they both are. They both are. To be fair, they both are. To be fair,
no. I'm talking about from off the ball when we don't have the ball.
Off the ball. Okay.
Defensive scanners. So don't misunderstand me, people. I'm talking about defensive, instinctive scanners who are just scanning and know what's going on, know where the danger before it becomes, understanding what center half to protect, understanding what position in the pitch to fill in. If you go into the ball's going to go right, is a communicator that's going to communicate to the fullbacks and go, the ball is going to be switched. Watch out. A communicator. That's what I want. But I want somebody with legs. We need some more legs in here. We need some
more legs in it. You know, it's interesting you say that, Nuruddin, yeah? Is this, I don't know if this is scary, yeah, or I have to believe Ten Hag. Right now, we're not linked with any defensive midfielder. I think Lisandro Martinez is a player who can play in that sixth role. Right now, Man United effectively are playing without no defensive midfielder next season. Does that worry you, Nuruddin? Because but for me, it's almost as if like I know more than Ten Hag in terms of what these players are. They're not what they are, but obviously he will coach them and he'll realize that. But at this minute, right now, before this preseason, because remember he has had preseason. Right now, Man United fans know more than Ten Hag. When he sees them on the football pitch, he will be like, "Shit, these guys are good enough. I might need a number 6." Do you think without a number 6 and the way we're trying to play football right now, in terms of him saying control the midfield, is that going to be enough for the Premier League? Because you know how dogged it is, man. It's dog eat dog out there. It's survival.
But Saeed,
without a natural midfielder, is that possible to work?
But listen, we know majority of we're gonna keep the possession in it. Like Van Gaal, we're gonna keep the possession of the ball. So it's only when it comes against the big 6. Because in that game, there's gonna be a lot more transitions, and they've got dangerous players and a way of playing to hurt Man United. So it's about that time. But of course, in all Premier League games, Saeed, as a team, if we don't defend off the ball, even Frankie de Jong, Eriksen, everybody will have a job to do. This one we have the ball. This is what we lose the ball. And if we don't all put a shift in, then of course we're going to get exposed. But we're thinking about Man United, Saeed, under all the years of all those managers, where we're all scattered everywhere. With Jose, we were all back defending like dogs. With Oli, we were counter-attacking at times. Sometimes we weren't a bit attacking, and then there was gaps. So at the moment, we're going to see. His biggest thing is going to be, without having, you don't have to be a CDM for me, because there's so many different CDMs, Saeed. There are ball
I understand that. Yeah. But most top teams have one. Fabinho, Rodri.
Listen, there are ball-playing CDMs, because people think Rodri is a brilliant passer of the ball.
I know he is. He's an all-rounder.
Listen, he can protect the ball. He can carry the ball. He's got a brilliant shot on him. He's dangerous in the air. He's got so much thing to him. But he's the one that, like I was saying to you, in their team, that smells danger. He's the one that smells danger. He's the one that senses it. That one before 3 passes are going. Him and Walker in defense, and him. So when you got Silva in front of him, when you got Gundogan in front of him, or sometimes alongside him, you got De Bruyne, everyone. But Gundogan, Silva, and De Bruyne, they're not all like walking around. No, they're all active as well, trying to win the ball back. So for me, it's about how you see football, innit? There are certain managers who don't believe in a CDM. They believe in the pivot guys, like Fergie. That's what I was saying to Fergie, believed in a pivot guy. So at times, when Ince went forward, guess what the Roy Keane did? He just held.
Yeah, he sat back. Yeah, I know. But then you would argue football has changed. And you would argue as well.
I know that it's changed. But what I'm saying to you is still that there's no.
By the way, we don't believe him. Ali Khan, we don't believe him. These two, by the way, we don't believe them long term. But time will tell. We'll wait and see. FC. So
wait,
Ali Khan, Here we go. But you know what, Nuruddin? My thing is, Nuruddin, when you say that point there, yeah, I'm just worried about the defense, because I said it for me, yeah, and this is no word of a lie. Man United is the worst team in transition. Yes, Ten Hag will come in and change it, but still, Luke Shaw, for me, I'm not sure about him anymore. Defensively, I don't think he's great. Maguire is the same old. We've seen him for last year. Shot for confidence. Transition-wise, if he gets caught, what he tries to do is he comes into space and then leaves space behind. Varane, we've not seen the best of Varane. Dalot as well, defensively, isn't great. Would it not be better to go and get that defensive midfielder? Or do we have to just trust that we're going to be able to kind of dominate the ball under like we did under Van Gaal? It's a very kind of...
I think the answer lies in what you said before about him calling pre-season early, bringing them in to have a look at them. So the window doesn't close to September the 1st, innit? From then, he can be able to tell in training what he can win, and the preseason games, innit? I've never been excited about preseason games, Saeed, as I am excited about these games, man. I swear to God. I've never been excited because at last we've got a coach that's going to coach. And the most interesting is going to be what players are tuned in straight away and what players are going to need a lot of work for them to understand the system. But at the end of the day, it's how managers see it. Some managers they just see midfielders. They don't see this and that. But we know some midfielders have more defensive strengths, more about scanning defensively, scanning.
Yeah, of course.
When we lose the ball than others. But if Man United are going to keep the ball possession for a lot of the time against most teams, then we're going to have to defend as a team to win the ball back when we lose it. Unless, if we don't do that...
That is a big problem, yo. That is a big problem we've had.
If you don't do that, then we're in trouble. And then he might then have to think, I need a player who's going to be good at hunting the ball down when we lose it. But it's Man United, that's the idea. The system the modern coaches do, Saeed, the best coaches do, is that the system hides all of the deficiencies.
Absolutely. Klopp
And then
is a perfect example.
What it does is it highlights all of the best parts of as a collective, as a living.
Check Toby out, like Toby. He said you got so much to do. Yeah, we do. We know that. We know that, Toby. There is a lot to do.
Yeah, but you know what?
Step by step.
You know what, Toby? Your managers had a half a season, to plan what he wanted. Our managers come in May to then sort it out. He didn't go on holiday. He came to try to sort out. So at the end of the day, Saeed, you know what I said, innit? Every manager at Man United has been lied to, Saeed. Every single manager. Right? No, there's no one club where every manager gets everything they want, yeah? It's never going to be that perfect, right? Because life is not like that, innit? It doesn't work out like that.
Tell you that.
It's not FIFA. It's not FIFA, is it? You know what I mean? But I want this transfer, because he's got a specific system and a way of playing. I want this transfer to be led by Ten Hag, because his head is going to be on a chopping block, innit? If Man United lose 6 in a row, or 5 in a row, or 4 in a row, or 3 in a row, Ten Hag out is going to trend, Saeed. We know that.
No, but that's the thing, though. I for me, you have to manage your expectations. I don't think. Well, I'll be honest with you. Nordin. I still don't think we're making top 4 next season. That's my own opinion. Even if we get the 3 or 4 signings, man, I genuinely don't think we're there. It's gonna take time, Nuruddin, man. It's not, bro. You cannot go from having a win percentage. I don't know what the win percentage was. It was crazy. Conceding all them goals for that to click in 1 year. It's gonna take time. I think for me, you said about attractive football. For me, it's about having a style of play first, and then getting behind that, and then the fans understanding it. For me, the biggest thing that Ten Hag has got to do is for the fans to understand that I am going to get my number 6 or whoever to receive the ball from the halfway line, or not even halfway line, from where the defense are. I'm going to build up the attacks, and it's going to be very, very. It could be slow, but it could also be in tune. There's a pattern to it. You know what I mean, Nordin? And that's what the families have got to understand.
Basically, what you're saying is that Ten Hag's first job is give the fans something to get behind. That's his first number one.
Absolutely.
And then Man United, we've been patient. we've been patient for 10 years, right? Yeah. 10 years being patient. So we're not being patient, but we've watched Dross for 10 years. So it's like Klopp at Liverpool, innit? He gave them something to get behind. Of course, he had some detractors. Of course, he has some criticism. And by the way, you can criticize the players, the in-game management. You can criticize. That doesn't mean that you're the manager out. Like, that don't mean that. From where you get criticizing the substitutions or the tactics, for it to go to like Ten Hag outside, it's like, it's not a thin line. It's a big, it's like
big line. No.
So it's going to be very interesting. Like for me,
I never heard of this player, by the way. Greenwood FC. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't really say that name, but I don't know why you got that word, man. You should change that, man. Whoever's got that account, you should change that. But he said thoughts on David Rome. I've never heard of him.
No, we're not going to pretend that we do.
We're not going to pretend we heard of him, man. But again, that's why Man United were in talks with Vitinho. David Schrager did say that he's a very, very reputable source. If you look at Man United and close to Man United, he's from Manchester, so he has a lot of sources within Man United. They did say we're in Vitinho. That again, if we were in for Vitinho, that just shows you what kind of style of football we're going to play. It's going to be energetic. It's going to be win the ball back quickly. I'm happy with that, but also you need competent defenders, and I think Killis was talking about it before. You're going to need defenders who are comfortable, who have pace, who are very alert, who are going to be on point, and that's the thing as well. It looks like at this minute, Man United are neglecting defenders which I'm concerned about. When you look at how many goals we conceded last year, I think it was
That's
54
you know what the
goals.
best thing to do. Listen, on a real one, right? Obviously, we can only go on from last season, but last season was a freak, man. It's where they threw the bottle inside. Like they threw the bottle in, man. Like they literally said there were bottle jobs in it before, in it. That's what we coined in it from years ago. Yes, pick up Straightjacket. Yeah, we coined the word on this channel, on this podcast a long time ago.
Yeah.
Bottle job FC. What they did
Here
was
we go.
they grabbed the bottle and they chopped the bottle in. So they weren't even a bottle job FC. They just threw the whole lot in and just walked away. So at the end of the day, for me, I just
will it be a high line? Will it be a high line? Do you reckon? Do you reckon we'll play a high line?
I think we're gonna have to. But like I said to you, there's a way of a system where you can protect the fan bases, where you can protect your defensive players, and also attribute, like in terms of like heighten the attributes of the team and keep the ball in the other team's half. You can do that. It's just on the transition when we lose it. And I expect that to drastically change, Saeed. The biggest thing, I'm off the ball, Man United cannot be walking around FC. No hell way. And you know what? The three philosophies I think he had, if I'm not mistaken, Ten Hag is like, you can't be outworked, outfought, and outplayed. If I'm not thinking, I think it might be different, but there's three strands to it. Being outfought, outplayed, like it's one of the biggest things. They're the two things that I remember, being outfought and outplayed. Like that's not gonna happen. He's not gonna take. We're gonna have a manager that's not gonna take being outfought, or like, you know what I mean. We're not going to say that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So, like I then say to you, at the end of the day, like you said, all of us fans, we know these players. We know the attributes of their players, but we've never seen these players in a particular system, Saeed, that gets the best out of them. So that's another thing to get excited for again.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, absolutely.
So what happened last season happened last season. Of course, I'm never going to forgive them, me personally, because that's always at the back of me, because they literally chucked it in. Do you know what I mean? They chucked it in. So
yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Like I said, I'm super excited about the preseason. I have been. I'm genuinely excited, because not everything I say, not that we're going to play football, but to see what players are going to thrive in the system and what players are going to struggle.
No, 100%. That's the key thing for me. And you know what I mean? I think for me, like I said to you, I think now that I realize they're trying to buy players according to the system or whatnot, I can be okay with that. But if I'm misnoting, there has to be, it has to be an urgency. There has to be a feeling that, you know what, we need to go and get this deal done. I thought today would be a key day in terms of Man United trying to do something. But again, it's the battle of kind of getting De Jong, but then also looking at other targets as well. We are linked with Lisandro Martinez, but Arsenal are doing bits, man. I'm surprised by Arsenal, man. Arsenal are doing bits. If they could get Rafinha, Jesus, and they get I think Lisandro Martinez or Tielemans, I think Arsenal, for me, are straight into that top four. Is Tottenham are doing bits. So you've got to compete with them. Then you've got to compete with people like Wolves, West Ham, who, again, they're not coming away. They're not shying away. They're not far away from us as well. So that's why, for me, I think United won't, make top four next season, because I just feel like there's a lot to do here. And I think with the World Cup in there as well, you just never know what's going to happen, man. I think I'm surprised with Arsenal, man. I genuinely thought they would struggle to go and get players within the Champions League, but it just shows you that if they've got Edu, they've got a sporting director, they've got people in there, and they're getting the job done already. So it's a task, it's a battle on our hands, man. We're looking around. There is competition out there, bro. There's competition.
Yeah, it is. It is. It 100% is. Listen. The biggest thing for me is that when I look at Man United and I look at how we've been, where we've been, and where we're going to, I can't help but be optimistic side in terms of like the manager. The manager, I know that
part of the puzzle, though. That's one part of the puzzle. Exactly.
And so this is the point I wanted to bring you. The other thing is the board and the owners. We're still gonna have Glazonomics, right? Until it comes out and it's official that Glazonomics no longer exists, that's always going to be in the background. And any manager is always going to have to play like that. But for me, I just want certain disciplines to be brought into this football club with these players. And I don't want to see what I saw last season, Saeed. I can't see what I saw last season. And I promise the fan base, I'll be shocked. If we see what we saw last season, Ten Hag's going to be out of a job within 5-6 months. You heard it here first.
That's crazy that, Nuruddin, because it is a possibility, because these players have been found out to throw the kitchen and throw the towel in and not really have that quality. Yeah, the bottle jobs, they don't. Some of them, if you look at it, some of them, their contract should have been, you know what I mean, should have been thrown out the window and said, you know what, you don't play for Man United anymore, because of the level of the quality that went down so bad. And I ultimately think there is some players that are not good enough. I generally think we disagree on certain players, Nuruddin, but I generally think there are players that are not good enough, and we should be moving them on. You know what I mean? But then ultimately, Ten Hag has to work.
Listen, you've got the type of energy where you want to throw the baby and the bathwater out in it, and I'm just saying, I don't want to throw I want to throw out the bath water, but not the baby. That's all I'm doing.
Well,
that's the difference. Like, you're saying throw the baby and the bath water. I'm like, keep the baby, man. To me, Rashford, this is a huge year for him. A huge season for him.
Did you see the reports about he wants to play left wing?
Next season. Listen, he can play wherever he wants to play, bro. Wherever he wants to play. At the end of the day, end of the day, Saeed, it's about him, innit? It's about him. It's about how. It's the attitude. It's whatever minutes he's getting on the pitch. It's not even about the flashy things side. It's not even about putting the ball in top bins. It's about the other things of the ball. It's about what he's doing. It's about, because one thing about Everton, he make demands on him. He'll make demands. This is how you're gonna play, mate. If you're gonna play out wide for me, you're gonna hold high and wide, mate. You're gonna wait. You're not gonna do what you coined us. What was that? Free what?
Freestyle.
Yeah, it's not going to be a freestyle. It's not going to be. It's going to be.
It's going to be a demand, man, on these players to perform at the highest level.
And that's why I can't wait, Saeed. That's why I can't wait. I can't wait for preseason. That's why I can't wait for preseason. And I'm excited, not because I think we're going to be incredible in preseason. It's because I want to see what play. And I keep repeating it, but I genuinely want to see what players and how some of the systems some of them going to make them look good. And others who can't adapt to it, how they're going to sink or swim.
Yeah.
Big up,
with that style of play, though, you know what I mean? Not everybody is going to be comfortable in that style of play. Who the ones that are in danger for you that won't be able to keep the ball, won't be able to
we can only speculate, but I'll be shocked. I will absolutely laud him, the greatest manager in the history of football. If Fred and McTominay all of a sudden turn into ballers and start playing one-touch football.
Crazy.
And they start hiding the ball and manipulating the ball. And they start picking the ball up and dropping shoulders and stuff. If they start doing that, Saeed, and when we lose the ball defensively, if they start scanning, Saeed, my jaw will be stuck to the ground. I'm going to have to walk like this, my jaw, my whole body. I'm 6'4", innit? My jaw will go down to my feet, mate. I'm going to have the biggest jaw in the world.
Nah, impossible, man. Impossible. There's no way McTominay survives for me in this Man
United
team. Genuinely, man. Even if you're me, I'm putting it out there now, and I've got the biggest McTominay agenda. I want him to do well when he steps on that pitch, but for me right now, if McTominay is starting next season, I'm sorry, man. I don't know if I can deal with that. I genuinely, man, even if Ten Hag likes him and he likes him in the system, I'm sorry. There's certain players in that team, for me, they're non-negotiable.
I'm going to ask you all this question. What about if Man United start playing well and McTominay is getting man of the match performances? And not even that, I'm playing fantastic in the system. What are you going to say then? He's going to shut you up then. You can't say no inside. You can't.
He might shut me up for a little bit, but I tell you what, in the long run, I'll be like, I told you so. And it's not good enough ultimately. But you see that building, man.
No. You see how Saeed pivoted? Saeed, so you're not going to come on your Saeed TV and go, you know what? I hold my hand.
I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit if that's what you want.
And listen, and that's all people want you to be, is to be fair. That's all anybody wants us to be, is to be fair. But
there's certain players, Lauren, you can look at you thinking, surely he doesn't start. Surely he doesn't play.
No, that's not easy to do that. But listen,
surely,
but you don't know though. But you're not in a training ground though. You're not seeing the improvements. If Ten Hag starts next season with Fred and McTominay as his first team options, he's gonna have to live or die by them. Simple
Yeah,
as.
but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, of course. But that's where we hope we don't get to. And that's why, for me, less talk and more action. Let's get midfielders in. Man United, when you look at it, really should be getting 3 midfielders. Really. Eriksen on a free, De Jong, and possibly a defensive midfielder. That's what Man United should be really getting. But the problem is, though, Noreen, we have got McTominay, we have got Fred, who are still at the football club. Donny van der Beek's in there as well, but we don't know what version of Donny van der Beek we're going to get. So that's another situation as well. So again, you know what I mean? There's, I just don't see it, man. And for me, it just kind of, I don't know, it's not the right message for me, honestly. If I see McTominay and Fred start next season, that will, for me, that when you talk about people saying coming against Ten Hag, I think that's one of the situations where that could easily fall into there. Ultimately, I would look at it and be like, you know what? I'm looking beyond that, and I'm thinking, beyond why has that happened. But I think ultimately, McTominay and Fred should not be starting next season as a pair. One, I think Fred might get an opportunity in some certain roles, but surely not, man. But you know what? I was going to ask you about Eriksen. Have you changed your tune about Eriksen now? The fact that we're about to go sign him.
It's not about changing my tune, innit? You know, I've got PDS. Saeed, I'm traumatized by Simmerframe FC, innit? You know me, innit?
But he's not Simmerframe FC, though, man. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Not Saeed is. He's what, 31? What? How old is he?
30. Just turned 30.
30. Okay. So it's a player who's what's he gonna do after 30? He's only gonna get worse, innit? In terms of the body.
Not really. Modric. What about Modric?
So Saeed, listen. In examples, right? In world football, it's well known that you only get worse with age. There are few freaks in world football. Saeed, listen to me. No, you're gonna hear me out on this. There are freaks which are the exception. They are the exception, but they're not the rule. Do you understand me? They are the exception, they're not the rule. For me, Eriksen is somebody whose powers are going to go. Can he give us one odd season? But because he's free, Saeed, I'm like, sign the other guys, the positions that we already need. Then if you get him, it's a bonus. It's a bonus.
I think we'll be the first signing. I think he'll be the first signing. Nurdin, like I said, you have to be, by you saying you have to be, kind of realistic about what certain things Man United can do. This is realistic for Man United to do. This is what you should be hoping Man United should do. Getting things done early in terms of getting the little cheap bargains done. When you go to the shop, Nurdin, and you know there's something on a bargain, do you go straight away or do you wait for it?
You know what? If the thing's not going to run out,
no. Please, Nurdin, don't do that.
It's the truth. It's the truth. If the thing is not going to run out for a while, you know what I do?
No. But that's...
You know what I do? I look at my money and go, you know what? I've got a bit more to get things. You know what?
Okay.
If you know what I do? You know what I do? So I go, oh, that's lovely. I'll be back for that. That's what it is.
Okay. I'm going to give you another scenario. Big up to Andy Tate in the building. Big up to you, man. And please, by the way, there's over 700 of you here, man. Guys, if we're not on like 300 likes, then again, I just say to you, disgrace, innit, man? You lot are disgrace, you know what I mean? If you're not getting 300 likes, and make sure you subscribe to Nuruddin's channel. We're going to be live on his channel after this as well. But Nuruddin, okay, I'm going to give you another example. Boxing Day. Do you go early or do you go late?
Nah, you know what? I don't rush into town, innit? I keep, you know what I do? You know what I do?
Stop capping, man. Stop capping.
I'm genuinely telling you the truth. I avoid the large crowds. I go when it's quiet. I either go super early or I go super late.
No, but if there's a bargain on and it's something that you need, say there's something that you need for your cats and it's only on offer at this time and you need to go and get it quickly, you're going to go and get it early. And that's Eriksen. He's a bargain.
Listen, if you was to see it off on Skulls, I'm queuing from overnight, pal. That's what I'm doing. I'm pulling up a tent, mate. I'm sleeping outside the shop.
You know what, man? Because for me, like I said to you, I just think for me, yeah, exactly. Big up try as the late night. I'm telling you, Andy. But I just think for me, though, Eriksen is someone that we need to go and get in. And I think it changes the culture of the football club. I think it does. He comes in, he sets away a new style of player, way of playing. And it's another player that's coming in that protects the ball. Someone that keeps the ball, that doesn't give away possession 50-odd times in a game. Someone that's good at dictating play, that can bring in key assists. We need to spread the goals around as well, Nuruddin. When you look at United last season, Ronaldo was top scorer. Bruno Fernandes had 9 goals in the Premier League. That's not good, man. Eriksen will give you at least 10 to 12 goals next season. Easy.
Yo, Andy.
I think so.
Listen, Andy, I can't try that. It's called the graveyard shift, innit? It's only certain people are built for it like you, bro. It's only certain people are built for those graveyard shifts. At the end of the day, I just look at it, I think.
A 30-year-old Eriksen is better than a 25-year-old Scott McTominay.
Nah, but they're not even the same player, Saeed. We're not asking them to do this.
No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, though.
No. You can't pick and choose now, Saeed. You were just making the case saying we need a defensive attributed player that...
He's not defensive. Is he defensive, McTominay?
No. Well, that's where he's
box to box. McTominay.
No. But Man United don't use him as a box to box, though. They don't.
That's Man United, though. That's Man United, though.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. No. I'm just saying. Where does Scott McTominay play? Scott McTominay
in a double pivot.
Is sometimes holding hands with Maguire and Lindelof or Varane and them people. It's like he's that close to them. He's holding hands with them.
He's what is his actual role, though?
Yes, but Man United don't use him or Fred. They use them both as defensive.
Okay, then.
Guys. That's
if Ten Hag uses McTominay and Eriksen in the same position next season, yeah, who are you taking?
Say that again. No. Listen, Eriksen's the better footballer, isn't it? Right.
Yeah,
listen,
there you go. Then.
Listen,
Simple.
you're not gonna get me. Listen, I rate Eriksen. Trust me. I remember the first time Eriksen Ajax came to Old Trafford, Saeed. I was there. I was in that stadium. I was getting gas going. Man United, please.
Yeah, I remember Europa League.
Yeah. I was like, please, Man United, please go and get this guy. Please go and get this guy. You remember him, don't you? It's about 7 or 6 years ago. It's about 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It's about 7 or 8 years ago. So I remember seeing him and going, please, Man United, get this guy, please. So he, in that night, played as a number 10. So Scott, it is not a number 10. Scott McTominay is a box-to-box number 8, but Man United don't use him. And when the times where they've used him, Scott McTominay is decent at being number 8 box-to-box. That's a fact. But when we use him as him and Fred, as some sort of pivot defensive guys, we get exposed right, left, and centre because that's not who they are. They're not those players. I bring it back to this. Players who are over the hill, when you reach 30 to me, other than if you're a freak, if you're a Zlatan, if you're a Ronaldo, if you're a Ryan Giggs, there are certain players in world football, we all know, if you're a Thiago Silva, even though Thiago Silva can't play, he can't play good in a 2 because 3, he needs people to, he attacks the ball, people to cover for him. You know what I mean? What two other people to cover for him. So it is that. Eriksen, yes, I would like him because I would also like pressure. I want Saeed. What I want is competition for places. Do you not understand what I'm saying to you? Next season, we're going to have 5 substitutions, Saeed. 5. We're going to have 5 substitutions. And you know what? The biggest research that I've done, guess what, Saeed?
Yeah.
Is that Erik ten Hag is not good at making substitutions. He trusts the players like Pochettino. And I've got to be fair in my principle, right? My principles, and say part of in-game management is seeing a player's not doing it today. He's not doing it, even in a system, and saying, you know what, you need to come off, lad. Let's go.
Absolutely. No, 100%. I get you. Big up to Liverpool Tyrone, man. He sent me this. He just WhatsApp me this right now. And Man United, this is reports coming out.
Is that German, right now. German left back? Is he the German left back who plays for Germany?
Is he a left back, people? Let me know.
I think, yeah. Or maybe.
You know what, man? I think for me, this is perfect, man. I think left back's been neglected. Let me know in the comments, people. Is he a left back or is he a centre back? Let me know in the comments because if we get this guy, oh, man, yes, left back. Oh, alhamdulillah, man.
No,
honestly, man.
Sky Sports,
I'm so
man.
glad.
No, that's
man, this is Sky Sports in Germany.
Nah, Sky Sports everywhere, mate. They're clickbaits, mate. Clickbaits. Don't get overexcited.
No, I'm just saying, innit? I'm just trying to.
Listen, Sky all over is part of the clickbaiters. The clickbaiters are everywhere, Saeed. I don't get giddy. I don't get excited.
I'm just trying to reveal it to everyone. It says talks about left defender have taken place. Talks ongoing and good, but still a long way to go. That's another one, people. Still a long way to go, FC.
Long way to go, FC. Here we go. Long way to go, FC. Here we go.
You know what, man? I don't know. People are saying the reliable journalist, but I need to see more of him.
Here we go, here we go. Talks are
You know what it is,
going,
though?
ongoing FC. That's why we are talks are going,
I
ongoing.
got PTSD of Telles, man. I think for me, I'm ready for a new change, man. I think that guy, whatever his name is, man, we need a left back, by the way. That's another. Fullbacks are getting a bit kind of almost what do you call it?
No, Saeed, listen. The only
You don't
player
think we
that
need
I want,
fullbacks?
Saeed, the only player that I watched, and I think with the level of intensity he plays with, up and down that left-hand side, is the kid. Is it Terrell Malatsi? He plays for Feyenoord.
Yeah, Terrell.
What a player, Saeed. You know, listen, if it's up to me, bye-bye Juan Bissaka, bye-bye Luke Shaw. I'm getting Terrell on this side and DJ, who's going to go to Tottenham now from Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Spence.
I'm gonna get Malatsi and
So
Spence.
key, man.
Saeed,
Yeah.
I'm going to get Malatsi and Spence. That's what I'm doing. Malatsi and Spence, and I'm saying good night to Vienna. And I'm hope maybe Telles can stay there if he wants, or Delot can stay there. But I'm saying goodbye to Juan Bissaka, even though I think he can improve, right, with good coaching because he's still young enough, and the game could develop. But I would say goodbye to him, right? But because I think those two would be attacking output will be brilliant. And Malatsi is brilliant, man. He's a brilliant player. Honestly, I like that kid. Not that anything, it's intensity, Saeed. I love players who play at a certain tempo and certain intensity.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I think generally, you know, I mean, we're gonna find out what Man United are doing, but
you're just saying the Caribbean, man, bro. Listen. This is, I'm gonna bring it to the camera. This is a samba school in Brazil. I got this when I was in Brazil. There you go. If you can read it, people, look at it.
Yeah, let me put you on.
Yeah, independent. I can't say the other word. It's too hard for me. But Pereira Miguel, and then I can't say the other word, but it's independent. Dente. So that's what it is.
That's what it is, people. But listen, man, when are you gonna give people the when are you gonna give United the kind of plan? When do you reckon we'll make silence, man? Be honest, like, what do you give? Would you give a prediction, or are you just waiting CFC? Because
So
it's getting a bit boring now.
I'm the owner, the chairman, the CEO, the sergeant, the general of Wait and CFC. I think something might happen next week, you know.
Yeah.
I think early next week or towards the end of this week, something might happen. Like the Eriksen thing just looks like, innit? Whether I think so as well. Like, the reason I'm like, Eriksen's on a free, there's no rush. You can negotiate with him, go and get the other business done, and then Eriksen is a bonus. But Man United don't work like that, innit? They get the bonus in first, and then the rest in it.
Exactly. But listen, people, we're gonna wrap up the podcast here. If you're watching the video right now and you haven't liked the video, this is your opportunity now to please like the video, people. Honestly, guys, it means a lot. You don't have to send a super chat, you don't have to do anything else. All you got to do is like the video, and it helps the channel. It helps this podcast be the #1 podcast on Man United, because at the end of the day, we're giving you real talk here. We're not trying to just waffle you with a lot of stuff. We're not trying to do that. We're just trying to give you informative discussion. So if you would like the video, that would be much appreciated. We're going to move over to Nuruddin's channel, United Real Therapy, where we're going to discuss the fallout and the what happened, you know, after the Arnold and the kind of aftermath of the Richard Arnold interview.
Yeah, the reaction from the
reaction.
Fans.
Absolutely.
And how certain fans with certain agendas took certain things he said to a certain way. Like, for example, some people are saying it was Pogba and Lingard were the leakers.
No.
Those two are no longer. He said the two people who did that are no longer at the club. Like, straight away, people are jumping because you know what? You already have that inside you, that hatred. And we're also going to go into racist Samuel Lopez.
Yeah.
Racist Samuel Lopez. We're going to go into that because I'm going to drag up his tweet in it and just see how it's just how.
Well, how is he paid to be a journalist?
When I said Saeed that he's racist, by referring people to people on my skin tone and Saeed's skin tone and mixed heritage players of some of them, you know, black players of mixed heritage, right? When he referred to them as exotic, we're not a plant, we're not a fucking animal. Don't refer to us as exotic. And then we already see the full agenda in it. He's the guy who was getting leaks to him by Dean Henderson. Everybody knows it. The fan base
Everybody knows it, yeah.
People want to ignore because you know why? He was the one that was championing Dean Henderson to be England #1, Man United #1. But you know what? You're not a football coach, mate. You write for a newspaper. Back in it, that used to be a newspaper. Now it's just an advertising page, mate. And you're
it is.
And you're a disgrace, mate. That's what you are. So I'm gonna be disgusting him. So therapy army are saying to the racist lockers, come to the front of the line, front of the queue, and we're gonna take it out and see what happens. So big up everybody. Please smash a like on this.
Absolutely.
Because trust me, everything I say, I believe wholeheartedly. It's my opinion. I have no agenda here. Saeed doesn't have agenda. We just throw it out there. We just come together and we discuss it. We just discuss what
that's what we do.
What's going to happen. That's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing. And you know what?
That's what we do.
And you're not going to get that because we don't come with agenda. We don't have people at the club. We don't have any of this. We're not going to clickbait you. It's just two genuinely honest, but at times we disagree. Times we agree. At times we agree to disagree. You know what I mean? And that's all we do.
Yeah.
That's all we do. So it's not anything. It's a sunny day in Manchester. It's blazing out there. Look at the sunshine out there. Hey, look at the sunshine out there. And we're here making time to talk to you guys. So the least you can effing do, people, is smash that like. If you want me to go get some melons, big up to Einstein. If you want me to go crazy on the melons, like on the video.
Absolutely. Listen, people, we're out. Come join us at United Real Therapy. We're going to discuss the fallout from Richard Arnold. Peace.